Welcome to the 2021 Raffles Girls Primary School Mathematics Prelim Paper 2 answers. Grab your pens and papers and let's get started. Question 1. There were 538 females and 306 males at a carnival. And 110 females left, while 25 males entered the carnival. So what was the percentage decrease in the total number of people? So I'm going to underline total number of people at the carnival. So let's find out how many people there are at first, okay? If I were to use a calculator, the answer will be 844. So this is the total at first, okay? So how many females left? 110, right? So I take 844 minus away 110, okay? Because this is how many females left. And my answer will be 734. So how many males entered? 25 males entered, correct? So I have to plus 25. I'm going to get 759. So there are 759 people now. Okay? So what was the percentage decrease? At first I have 844, now I have 759. So what was the decrease? I need to find out how many lesser people there were. So I'm going to get 85. So percentage decrease, it's 85 over the original number, which is 844, and then I times 100. Okay? So my answer is going to be 10.07. Okay, I have to round off to one decimal place. So I need to underline the first decimal place, then look to my right. Since it's more than 5, I need to round up. So it's 10.1. Okay, so that's how I do question 1. Very straightforward, so let's move on. The table below shows the points scored by 3 children in a game. Their total score was 135. So Bala and Charlie doesn't have their scores shown. Only Ali's score is shown. So all their scores were 2-digit numbers. What was the lowest possible score among the 3 of them? So total score is 135. I will take away Ali first, so I can deal with Bala and Charlie. Okay, so my answer will be 114. So whoever, either B or C, what will be the highest possible score? If I want to find the lowest possible score, that means I need to find the highest possible score. Okay, so 2-digit numbers, what can be the highest possible score? It will be 99. Okay, so this is the highest 2-digit number. Okay, let's say either Bala or Charlie gets 99. So I need to take 114 minus away 99. That means my lowest possible score will be 15. Okay, yeah, because it's double digit. So let's say Charlie gets 99, Bala will be 15. Okay, and this is the lowest possible score. Got it? Try and digest this. If not, if you're already done, then let's move on to question 3. Okay, question 3. In a square grid, AB and BC form 2 sides of a trapezium. So we can see from here, AB and BC. And there are 2 right angles in ABCD. So since this is not a right angle and this is also not a right angle, so my right angle will probably be here and here. Okay, the other 2 corners. So before we start, do you see the parallel sign here? So if this is parallel line, this will be my other parallel line. So we got to take note, okay? So let's take out a protractor and start measuring some angles, okay? Okay, so I'm starting from 0. So this is about, angle CBA is about 129 degrees. No, 139 degrees. Okay, so this is about 139. And then this is where my 90 degrees is at. So let's find out what is this angle here, okay? It will be 180 minus 139. So the angle at the bottom is about 41 degrees. Okay, so this is 90, this is 90, and this is 41. Let's start drawing. Okay, so we are starting from here. So 41 is about here. Okay, so let's remove this. So 41 is about here. And let's just draw the line first. Okay, we'll draw a very long line first. Okay, doesn't really matter because we can always erase it later. Okay, so this is my 41 degrees. I'm gonna write it down so that you guys can see it. Okay, and this is a 90 degrees because there are two right angles. So let's get started with the protractor. Okay, 90 degrees is here. Okay, just put a point here, then let's start drawing the line. Okay. Okay, we're done. We just need to erase the extra parts. Okay, it's a bit slow to draw it like that, but if you have your pen and paper, it will be much faster. Okay, so this is point D, and this is also 90 degrees. Okay, so we have completed the drawing, and do take note that if you have this angle, it's a lot easier to find. Okay, and whatever angle is in between parallel lines, it will add up to 180. 90 plus 90 is also 180. Alright, I think we're taking too much time for question 3. Let's move on to question 4. Amos is 12 years younger than his sister. Okay, every time we deal with age, you need to remember constant difference. Okay, the difference in anyone's age will never ever change. Okay, so if your mom gave birth to you when she was 20, or let's say 30, she'll forever be 30 years older than you. Okay, if you think of it that way, maybe it's easier to memorize. So Amos is 12 years younger than his sister. And the ratio of Amos' age to his sister's age is 1:5. So Amos is to sister 1:5. In how many years' time will the ratio of Amos' age to his sister's age be 2:5? So let's not do it first. Let's look at this. What's the difference in units? Okay, so 4 units equals to 12, because the first sentence tells us that. Okay, so how old is Amos? Amos is 1 unit, so 12 divided by 4, I'm gonna get 3. Amos is 3 years old. So let's see, they want Amos and the sister's ratio to be 2:5. Okay, so what's the difference here? The difference here in terms of units will be 3 units. And remember, the difference in age doesn't change, so 3 units equals to 12. Okay, let's find out what is 1 unit first. And then let's find out what is 2 units, because 2 units is Amos' age. Okay, so Amos has to be 8 years old. And right now he's 3 years old. So in how many years' time will the ratio be? So basically we need to take 8 minus 3 equals to 5. Okay, so in 5 years' time, Amos' age to his sister's age will be 2:5. This is now. This is after. Okay, and then we found out that Amos has to be 8 years old here, and Amos is 3 years old now, so we have to take the difference. Alright, let's move on to question 5. Question 5, the table shows the number and the cost of each type of flowers sold at a florist. So 3 different types of flowers: rose, lily, carnation. Number of flowers sold, 135. And the number of lily and carnations sold are in terms of algebra. Okay, so let's not get too scared and just continue reading the question. Roses cost $2 each, lily cost $2.50 each, and carnation they are sold in bundles of 4 for $5. let's move on. If the total number of flowers sold was 405, 180 carnations were sold. Okay, let's do this. If 405 is the total, let's minus away roses first. 405 minus 135, we're going to get 270. Okay, so 6y equals to 270. Got it? Because the total is 405, I minus away this, I'm left with 6y. So 6y equals to 270. What's 1y? 270 divided by 6. Please use your calculator, okay? Don't calculate anything, it's paper 2. And then 2y is, oh no, let's find out what's 4y, because carnations are 4y. Okay, so 4y will be equals to 45 times 4, and my answer will be 180, so it's a true. Okay, so let's do B. The amount of money collected from selling the lilies and the carnations were the same. So lilies, $2.50 each, carnations 4y, 4 for $5. So don't be too afraid. Let's do it together. So I'm gonna draw a line, and this is A, this is B. So each means one. So one lily, decorate my one, is $2.50. Okay, so 2y lilies. So I just need to take 250 times 2y. Okay, in your calculator, right, just type 2.5 times 2. Okay, ignore the y, but have to put it down. Okay, so after selling 2y lilies, I get $5y. Okay, y can be any number. So let's find out how much I get from selling carnations. 4 carnations for $5. So I have 4y carnations. Okay, if you've watched my previous videos or even like the start of this video, the paper ones, you realize that I always use this method. Okay, so this one is divide and then this one is times. Just make sure on the left hand side are the same units as the top and bottom, and the right hand side also. So I'm looking for dollars here, I'm on my right hand side, I'm looking for carnations here on my left hand side. So 5 over 4 times 4y. Okay, in fraction we learned that top, bottom, top times top, bottom times bottom. So top times top is 20y, because 5 times 4 is 20. Then at the bottom is just 4. So in your calculator, I would like you to type in 20 divided by 4. Okay, just play around with the numbers, not the algebra, but don't forget to put your algebra down. So you're gonna get 5. Don't forget your y. So lilies, I earn $5y. Carnations, I also earn $5y. So this is true. Okay, so let's do the last one now. The amount of money collected from selling the roses was the highest amongst the 3 types of flowers. So for roses, how much did I earn? 135 times $2, I earn $270. Okay, so I earn 270 here, I earn 5y here, and I earn 5y here. Okay, so is roses the highest? Can you see? Do you know what's y? We don't know, right? So we can never say that this is true or false, because we need a y value, then we can compare. Okay, giving me just a y can mean a lot of things, so the answer is not possible to tell. Okay, let's move on to question 6. The bar chart shows the height of 6 people. So before we do, you realize that Peggy is empty because it's not been drawn. Okay, so let's calculate how much the rest of the students have. Okay, their height, I mean. So how many spaces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spaces. So 20 divided by 4, you're gonna get 5. That means each space is actually 5 cm. Okay, so Megan is 160 cm. Natalie is 140 plus 1 space, so it's 145. Oliver is 140 plus 2 spaces, so it's 150. Peggy is a big question mark. Quincy is 140. And Rianne is 160 plus 5, which is 165. Okay, I'm not going to put cms here because it's a bit squeezy, okay? So Peggy's height was 20 cm more than the average of Quincy and Megan. So let's do part A here. Quincy is 140 and Megan is 160. So the total is 300. Okay, so if I were to draw my triangle, total, average, number, my total is 300. So 2 girls, so my average would just be 300 divided by 2, which is 150 cm. So that's the average. And Peggy's height is 20 cm more than this, so it's 150 plus 20. So Peggy's height is 170. So who was or were taller than the average height of all people? So question didn't ask us to draw, so I'm not gonna draw it. Okay, but if you want to draw, or if you're curious, I can just draw it for you guys. Peggy is 170 cm, so it's 160 plus 2 spaces. Okay. Okay, so this is Peggy's height. So who is taller than the average height of all the people? So we found the average height of Quincy and Megan, but we haven't found the average height of all the people, okay? Please do not be careless, okay? So let's add all of them together to find out my total. I'm gonna draw another average triangle. Okay, so 160 plus 145 plus 150, 170, 140, 165. Okay, go and type in your calculators and your answer will be 930. So my total is 930. How many students are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. So my average will just be 930 divided by 6. And my answer will be 155 cm. Okay, so let's see who is taller than 155. We have Megan here, taller than 155. We have Peggy, and we have Yan. Okay, so for part A it's 170 cm. For part B is Megan, Peggy, Yan. Okay, so very straightforward. And yeah, let's move on together to question 7. Question 7. A rectangular tank measuring 45 cm by 16 cm by 25 cm was wanted filled with water. So after water from some identical bottles were poured into the rectangular tank, it became more full. Okay, so it became 7/8 full. So the capacity of each bottle was 650 ml. What was the minimum number of bottles used to pour the water into the rectangular tank? Let's find out how much water there is first, okay? So it seems like it's 1/3 over here. So volume equals 1/3 times length is 45, breadth, height. Okay, if I use my calculator, my answer will be 6,000 cm cube. Alright, so after that it became 7/8 full. Let us find out the volume again. 7/8 times 45 times 16 times 25. My answer this time will be 15,750 cm cube. So let's minus it, okay, to find out how much water actually came from the bottles. Your answer will be 9,750 cm cube. Okay, so this is volume from bottles. Okay, so 650 ml will be equals to 650 cm cube because 1 ml equals to 1 cm cube. And 650 cm cube equals to 1 bottle. We need to find out how many bottles there are, correct? That can fit this amount of water. So what we need to do is this method. Okay, divide times. So take the number here. Because it started from here, so take this number, divide by this number, then times this number. It's gonna look like that. Okay, and just use calculator, you realize that your answer is 15 bottles, and that's 3 marks. Okay, really straightforward. Okay, let's move on to question 8 together. The Chu needs a total of 15 hours to prepare 1,800 rice dumplings. He prepares the same number of rice dumplings every hour. So let's find out Mr. Chu's rate. 15 hours equals to 1,008 dumplings. I'm not going to spell dumplings, it's too long. So let's find out what is 1 hour. We just have to take 1,800 to divide by 15. And my answer is 120 dumplings. Okay, so this is his rate. Mr. Chu, 120 dumplings per hour. Okay, so this is rate. When his wife helps him for 4 hours, 1,800 rice dumplings can be prepared in 9 hours. So in 9 hours, okay, the wife only helped for 4 hours, okay? But how long did Mr. Chu work? Mr. Chu still has to work for 9 hours. So let's find out how many dumplings he makes, okay? So 1 hour, 120. So 9 hours will be 120 times 9. So in 9 hours, he made 1,080 dumplings. Alright? So total there are 1,800 dumplings. I minus away how much Mr. Chu made. I'm gonna get 720 dumplings. Okay? And this is Mrs. Chu. Okay, this is how much Mrs. Chu made. So in the 4 hours, Mrs. Chu could help make 720 rice dumplings, while Mr. Chu only has to make 1,080 dumplings. So if you add these two together, it's going to get 1,800. Okay, so that's how we do this question. So what's the average number of rice dumplings that Mr. Chu's wife prepares in the 4 hours? So 4 hours equals to 720 dumplings. Let's find out what's 1 hour. We have to take 720 divided by 4. Okay, so this is the average number. Got it? So gonna cancel this part now. Okay, what is the difference in the time taken between Mr. Chu and his wife if she prepares 1,800 rice dumplings alone? So we have her rate. So Mrs. Chu, her rate will just be 180 dumplings per hour. Okay, so 180 dumplings in 1 hour. Let's find out how long she takes for 1,800 dumplings. Okay, use this method. Divide, then times. So 1 over 180 times 1,800 equals to 10 hours. So Mr. Chu needs 15 hours, Mrs. Chu needs 10 hours. So the difference will be 5 hours. Okay? Got it? So, Mrs. Chu makes dumplings faster because in 1 hour she can actually make 60 more dumplings as compared to Mr. Chu. So, yeah, the difference is 5 hours. Got it? Let's move on to question 9. Okay, question 9. At its year-end sale, a company sold calendars and diaries at the prices shown. So calendars are $6 for $37, while diaries are $8 for $99. An equal number of calendars and diaries were sold. The company collected this amount from the sale of calendars and diaries. How many calendars and diaries did the company sell in all? So calendars are sold in 6, diaries are sold in 8. Are they the same number? They are not. But in the end, I saw an equal number of calendars and diaries. So what I need to do now is to make 6 and 8 the same. Or what we call it, common multiple. Okay? So calendars, diaries. 6 for $37, 8 for $99. So 6 and 8 we can make both into 24. Okay? So 24 4. 37 times 4 is 148. So here we multiply by 3. Here we also multiply by 3, and my answer will be $297. Okay, so this is one set. So in a set of 24 calendars plus 24 diaries, I will get 148 plus $297. Okay, so this is one group. It's kind of like grouping method. So how much did I earn? I collected this amount of money, correct? So let's see. $445 is one group. How much is this amount of money? I'll do this, okay, to find the number of groups. 1 over 445 times 29815. Okay, use a calculator and you're going to get 67 groups. Okay, one group is this plus this. I'm going to use a different color to circle it. Okay, and this. Alright, so I have 67 groups. How many calendars and diaries did the company sell in all? So in one group, there are 24 calendars and 24 diaries. So there are 48 items. So 67 groups times 48. My answer will be 3216. Okay, so 3,216 calendars and diaries. Okay, we add them both together. Right, very straightforward, and hope you understand. Let's move on to question 10. Question 10. In a school, 55% of the girls are girls and the rest are boys. So let's just do it. Okay, so we're done. 55% are girls, 45% are boys. As a school, 40% of the boys wear spectacles. So of is multiplication. The boys is 45%. So let's find out. 40%, 4,500 times 45%. My answer will be 18%. So 18% of the pupils wears specs. Okay. So that means 18% of the total pupils, while 40% of the boys wear spectacles. So take note. Okay, take note of the whatever. So if it's of the boys, that means we're comparing the boys. If it's of the pupils, that means it's plus the girls also. Okay, it can get quite tricky, so take note. What percentage of the pupils? Oh wait, and 60% of the pupils wear spectacles. So 18% of it come from boys, so we just need to take 60% to minus whatever comes from the boys, and that will be my answer. Girls who wear spectacles it makes up the rest of the percentage, which is 42. So girls who wears specs. Okay. That is okay. 42%. Okay, so there's A. So 208 girls do not wear spectacles. So girls total 55%. Those who wear spectacles 42%. So those who do not wear spectacles makes up 13%. Okay, and this 13% is 208. Okay, so how many pupils are there altogether? Altogether is 100%. Okay, use this method. Okay, because percentage is on left hand side, right hand side is the number of pupils. Okay, it's kind of like a shortcut. It's very useful. Times 100. And my answer will be 1,600. Okay, so there are 1,600 pupils in the school altogether. Let's go to question 11. Question 11. The figure is formed by 3 identical big semicircles and 3 identical small semicircles. So this is the big, and this is the small. Okay, so use the calculator value of pi to find the parameter of the figure, and we have to round off our answers to 2 decimal places. So let's see what's the, because we have to find a parameter, right? We need the diameter. So let's see what we can find out, right? So for this big semicircle, what's my radius? My radius is 14. Okay, for small semicircle, my radius is 10. Okay, so I'm going to write it down. Okay, so I need the diameter. Okay, so radius of big semicircle, diameter of big semicircle done. And now it's time for radius of small semicircle. Okay, so I'm going to erase whatever I drew here because we need the space. Okay, shall we start finding the circumference? So circumference of big semicircle is, so it's a semicircle, so I need to put half times pi times diameter. My diameter is 28. Okay, and then let's just put it in terms of pi. In your calculator, just type in half times 28 and you get 14 pi. Okay, and just leave it like that. And then how about small semicircle? Circumference half times pi times 20. So your calculator, type half times 20. Okay, ignore the pi, but don't forget to put it in your final answer. Okay, so how many big semicircles do we have? We have 3, right? So we take 14 pi times 3. And then how many small semicircles do we have? We have 3 also, so we have to take 10 pi times 3. Okay, so 14 times 3, type it into your calculator, you get 42 pi. And then 10 times 3 is just 30. Okay, so I'm going to draw out what we have found. Okay, so this has been found, 3 big semicircles. And then what else have we found? 3 small semicircles, right? Okay, so do you realize that there's something else we haven't found? This part and this part haven't been found yet, so we're not done with the question yet. Okay, so I'm gonna erase the rest. Okay, so how do we find these 2 parts that are highlighted in pink just now, that are underlined in pink just now? Okay, it's part of a big semicircle and it's part of the big semicircle, but how do we find it? Okay, if you can't, you gotta listen closely here, okay? So there's a big semicircle and a small semicircle, and 2 small semicircles, correct? So I'm gonna shift it. Okay, try and follow. So this big semicircle, I'll shift it here. Okay, so this is done. How about this small semicircle? I'm gonna shift it here. Okay, how about this small semicircle? I'm gonna shift it here. Okay, so this part and this part, they are now being pushed to this part. Okay, so the blue color part, this and this, is equals to this. And how do we find this? It's actually just the difference of a diameter of big semicircle and small semicircle. Okay, so it's 28 cm minus 20 cm. Okay, I'm going to explain this again. So there's a big semicircle here, and there's two small semicircles. Basically, I push the big one underneath the big one, I push the small one underneath the small one, and this last small semicircle is placed here, and then you realize that there's a protruding part here. Okay, and this protruding part is the sum of this small and this small blue color highlighted parts. Okay, so that's the only way we can find out what is the remaining parameter that we haven't found yet. And it is 8 cm. So we have to add this all together. And in the calculator, we are going to get our answer is 234.19 cm after rounding off to 2 decimal places. Okay? So in the calculator, you need to put your answer as 234.194, and then you round off to this. Okay, let me just change this part. So in the calculator, copy out this, and then you have to round off to 2 decimal places. So I underline this, and I look at this. So I do not need to round up, so my 9 remains as 9. Okay? So my answer is 234.19 cm. Okay? This part is very important. Look at how I how I shifted the semicircles around to get my answer. Okay? Let's go on to question 12. Question 12, the figure shows a parallelogram PQRS drawn on a grid. PRTU is a rectangle that has half the area of PQRS. And we have to draw PRTU. We have to draw the rectangle. So let us find out what's the area of PQRS first. Then we can find the area of PRTU. Okay? So over here, right, is a parallelogram, but we do not have the base, and we also do not have the perpendicular height. So what we can do is we can split it up into 2 rectangles. Okay, I'm going to draw the rectangles. Okay, so PRS is a rectangle. Okay, and let's find the area of it. Okay, I need to find the base first, so I need to delete this. And anyway, I drew it to show you all the rectangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So my base is 16 units, and my height is this. Okay, perpendicular height 1, 2, 3, 4 is 4 units. So if I were to type it into my calculator, I'll get 32 units. Okay, since it's an area, I'm going to put a square here. Alright. So what's my area of parallelogram? It will be 64, because if this is 32, this will also be 32, because they are 2 of the same thing. Okay, they are halves. So my area of parallelogram will be this. Okay, can I erase it? So now what's the area of my rectangle? It's half the area of PQRS, so seems like it's 32. Okay, area of PRTU. So the base, the rectangle, is here, right? PR. So we need to find out what is TU. So half times, wait, there's no more half. We need to take 16 times something to give you 32. So this something, we can just find it out by taking 32 to divide by 16, and we're going to get 2 units. So my length is 16, my breadth is 2 units. Okay, so this is how I'm going to draw it. Got it? So this is my T, and this is my U. Okay, and I'm done. Okay, look at how I find the area. Okay, and eventually how I find the breadth. Okay, I'm gonna move on to B. PRV, so PRV, V is someone on top. Okay, it's an isosceles angle that has the same area as rectangle PRTU. So the area of PRTU is 32 units square. So I need to draw it such that it doesn't overlap with this, so I need to draw it above. Okay, so half times the base is going to be 16 again, times height equals to 32. So in your calculator, type in half times 16, you're going to get 8. Okay, so h is equals to 32 divided by 8, so it's 4. So my unit, my height is 4 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the midpoint. I need to draw 4 units up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna connect the dots. Maybe I should use another color. Okay, so there we have it. We have our isosceles triangle, and I'm gonna put this thing because they're the same sides, and it is PRV. So this is point V. So this is how I'm gonna get my 3 marks. Okay, so working is needed to find out what's the height and what's the breadth, but after that the drawing part will be quite a breeze. Okay, let's move on to question 13. The figure below shows 6 identical squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in a rectangle. The arrangement results in a gap of 0.2 meters at the top and 0.1 meters at the side. And the area of the unshaded region is 3000 cm square. So anyway, the cm square here, and let's just change it to cm. Okay, and this is 10 cm. Okay, so the unshaded side is 3000 cm square, and we don't know what's the side. Okay, but we can draw something. I'm gonna draw something so that you guys can see it clearly. Okay, okay, so what I'm drawing here, I'm gonna enlarge it. Okay, so basically I cut it up into small little rectangles so that we can see easily. So I'm gonna draw it bigger so you guys can see it. Okay, I'm done. So I'm just copying this but bigger, okay, so that students can see properly. So if this is 20 cm, I actually divided it equally, so this will be 10 cm and this will be 10 cm. Okay, so for this here, I'm just gonna put units, okay, or whatever it is, because we haven't found it yet. Or maybe I'm just not gonna put anything. I'm not gonna put anything here. Okay, I'm just gonna put what I know. So if this is 10 cm, this will be 20 cm. Okay, because this is 20 cm. So at the bottom here, it's 10 cm, so I'm gonna put 10 cm, and that's all I know. So if this is 10 cm, this will be 10 cm. Alright, so what's the area of this? The area of this is 200 cm square. Okay, so this 4 rectangles plus 200 cm square plus 3 rectangles equals to 3000 cm square. So by now, I think you have a hint of how to move on with this question. Okay, so but I'm just going to continue doing it. So I want to find the area of one rectangle. So what I need to do first is to take 3000 cm square to deduct away what I know, which is this 200 cm square. So I'm going to get 2800 cm square. Okay, so these 7 rectangles made up 2800 cm square. To find out what's 1, I just need to take 2800 to divide by 7. Okay, I'm going to get 400 cm square. And we have it. So this is 400. Everything is 400 actually. Okay, so now that I know that one rectangle is 400 cm square, can I find this side? I can. I will just need to take 400 to divide by 10. I'm going to get 40 cm. And we have it. We can find the question. We can do the question already. Okay, all these are 40 cm. So what is the area of the rectangle? So if this is 40 cm, we can find out what is the area of one square. Okay, so this is also 40 cm, okay, because they are squares. So area of one square is 1600 cm square. So how many squares do I have? I have 6 squares. My area is 9600 cm square. So the area of shaded part is 9600. We got to add the unshaded part, which is 3000. And there we have it. Okay, so don't be too anxious when you first see this question. Okay, we'll just have to dissect and then see what we can do with the question. Okay, so 4 marks is given. If you can get through this part, understand this part, I hope future questions, you'll be able to do future questions also. So let's move on to the next question. 14. And a L-shaped paper is made out of perpendicular lines. It is folded along the lines AB as shown. And then after folding, CBD is 28 degrees. Okay, so we have to find out what's X. Okay, so when I fold something, right, you need to take note of this. When I fold something, this angle and the angle below it overlaps, so they're the same thing. Okay, so let me try and draw it here so you can visualize it better. So this is where I fold, correct? So this is where it ends up at. Correct? So if this is the 28 degrees, what I'm trying to say is that this angle here and this angle here, they'll be the same thing. Okay, because they overlap. Okay? So anytime you have a folding question and it overlaps, just know that whatever overlaps, whatever, will be the same angle. So, but how do we apply it? Let me show you how I'm going to use this information, okay? So, this angle what is it? It is 360 degrees minus away 90 degrees. Okay? So the angle I drew in orange, the bolded orange marker, is 270 degrees. Okay? Because there's a right angle here, so I minus away. So 270 degrees, I have to minus away the 28 degrees. Okay? And my answer will be 242 degrees. Okay? So I'm going to erase this. So this plus this is 242 degrees. To find 1, I'll just need to divide by 2. Okay? That means it's 121 degrees. So this is 121. And this is also 121. That means this is 121. Okay? Got it? So with this, we can find x. Okay? So since it's 90 degrees, we can assume that it is parallel. Kind of looks like a trapezium actually. So how to find x? X plus this angle will be 180. So angle x will be 180 degrees minus 121 degrees. And my answer will be 59. Okay? So anytime we have an angle in between our parallel lines, it adds up to 180 degrees. Okay? Look here. This is 90, and it adds up to 180 also. Got it? Let's find out what's angle y. So now that we have this done, we are looking at this trapezium instead. So if this is 28 degrees, what's this angle? We have to take 180 to minus 28 degrees because it looks like a trapezium again. And if it's parallel, angles in between parallel lines adds up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to get 152 degrees. And then this is a right angle. This is 152. Angle y will just be angles at a point minus 90 degrees minus 152 degrees. Yep. So that's how we get it, 4 marks. Okay. So try and memorize this part I taught. So anything that overlaps is the same. That's it. Okay. And then how you apply it is another thing. Okay. So the more you do, the better you get. Okay. Let's move on to 15. The circles question 15. The figure is made out of a big semicircle. The big semicircle is this one, of radius 30 cm. So I'm going to do it. Okay. 2 circles and 3 semicircles of equal radius are drawn in a big semicircle. What is the radius of the circle? What is the radius of this circle? So the radius of this circle is the same as the radius of this circle. So basically, whatever circles you see here inside the big semicircle, they have the same radius. So I'm going to use this part to find out. Over here, there are 1 radius, 2 radius, and 3 radiuses. Okay? So to do our working, we can just put 3 radiuses equals to 30 cm. So this part A. So let's find out what's 1 radius. It's just 30 cm divided by 3, which is 10 cm. Very, very simple. No wonder they give us 1 mark. Okay, so let's do part B now. I'm going to erase all this so we can use the space for part B. Okay. What is the area of the shaded parts? So the shaded parts are this. Take pi equals 3.14. Round your answer correct to 1 decimal place. Okay, so let's just find out the area of this first. Let's find out this area. So it is half times pi times radius. So it's half times pi. Pi is 3.14 times the radius here we already found, it's 10 times 10. Our answer will be 157 cm square. Okay, so the other shaded part is here, correct? So let's find out what's the area of the big semicircle first. Okay, half times pi times the big semicircle, the radius is, just now I drew it here, it's 30 cm. Okay, so 30 times 30. I'm going to get 1413 cm square. Okay, so I will take the area of big semicircle to minus away the area of the pink shaded part, and my answer is 1256 cm square. Okay, this 1256 is equal to all these things here, everything. Okay, all these things adds up to 1256 cm square. Got it? So, I'll erase it. That was just to show you guys. Okay. So, now that we have 1256, how? What should we do next to find out the area of the shaded part? You realize there's a line here drawn here. It's actually a hint. Okay, I'm going to draw another line so that you guys might try and see what they're trying to hint you. Okay, so this equals to this, this equals to this, and this equals to this. So we can do something about it. 1256 cm square, we can actually minus away all this. Minus away all the circles we see. Okay, so because once we minus it away, the remaining area is just all these parts. Okay, I'm going to shade it orange. Okay, so now my job is to find out the area of the shaded orange part. Okay, and what I need to do is I take 1256 to minus away the area of these circles. Okay, so the area of, how many semicircles are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 semicircles. One small semicircle is 157. I'm going to get 314 cm square. Okay, so the area of the shaded orange part is 314 cm square, and I have to divide it into 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to divide it into 3. Okay, we have it. So the area of the orange shaded parts are 314 cm square, and the area of one shaded part here, the top and the bottom, it's 104 and 2/3 cm square. Don't be too scared of this fraction. It is what it is, okay? Because later we can round off again. So I'm going to erase all the orange part. And we have it. Okay, I'm not going to erase this. So this is 104 2/3. And how about this pink one? This pink one is area of small semicircle, right? Which is 157. Okay, we just need to add them together. So I'm going to continue here. 157 plus 104 2/3. I'm going to get, in terms of decimals, I'm going to get this. Okay, so I need to round off to one decimal place, underline. Look here, okay, it's more than 5, so we need to round up, so your 6 becomes 7. And that's my answer. Okay? Okay, one thing to take note for this question is that they actually give you a hint here. Okay, so this equals to this, equals to this, and then they give us circles that touch each other, so we can actually minus away all this area, and then we can find out what's inside. And that's about it. That's 4 marks. Okay, let's move on to question 16. Madam Nuru had some red and green apples in her mini-mart. The ratio of the number of red apples to the number of green apples was 13:7. So let's do part A. Red is to green is 13:7. Okay, so after selling 60% of red apples and 55 green apples, the ratio of number of red apples to number of green apples was 13:12. Okay, so the key thing is here, this sentence, 60% of red apples and 55 green apples. Okay, we need to do something about it. If not, then we cannot deal with this because 30 and 30 is the same number, right? So 60% of the green apples are sold. So 60 over 100, okay, times 13. My answer will be 745 units. Okay, sold. Red, sold. So it's very hard to deal with a fraction in a ratio. So what we should do is to multiply by 5, because if you multiply by 5 you get a whole number. Okay, so let's do it here. So let's start it again. 13 is 7. Instead of leaving it as 13, let's multiply by 5. Okay, so if I multiply by 5, my answer will be 65 is to 35. Okay, this is add first. Okay, so what happened? I sold 60%, correct? That means 39 units. Red sold. Okay, so how many units do I have left? 65 unit minus 39 unit, I'll have 26 unit. Red left. Okay, so now let's look at this. The number of red apples to green apples was 13 is to 12. So after that, it became 13 is to 12. Can you see here? Red left is actually 26 units, but this here is 13 units. So let's multiply by 2 to make it 26. Okay, so this one we have to do the same also. Okay, so now we got it, 26 units. So from its initial, so this is at first, and this is after. Okay, I'm writing it here. I copied this here because so I can compare it side by side. So 65 unit, I became 26 unit because I multiplied by 2. So let's look at green. It was 35 unit at first and it became 24 unit. So how many units of green apples did I actually sell? I sold 11 units. And this 11 unit equals to 55 green apples. Okay? So how many apples were there altogether at first? Altogether, what's the total unit? $65 plus 35. 100 units. So let's find 100 units. Okay? I'm gonna get 500. Okay, so there were 500 apples altogether at first. Okay, it's a bit complicated, but try and look at it again, okay, to understand it. Let's do B. After that, she bought more red apples. So we don't know how much or how many. The number of red apples she bought was 3/10 of the number of apples left before that. So the number of apples left before that is 26 units. Okay, so from here we found out that 11 units equals 55. So 1 unit equals to 55 divided by 11, which is 5 apples. 26 units is, okay, so we are gonna get 130 apples. Okay, so three over 10 of the apple she had before. So of is multiplication. The apple she had before that is 130. That's why you have 3 over 10 times 130. Okay, which is 39. Okay, so in the end she will have how much she had at first, how much she had left, which is 130 plus 39, which she bought. Okay, and the answer will be 169. Okay, let's move on to the last question. Okay, question 17. Peter, Roger and Mary each had a sum of money. They decided to split their dinner bill equally. So if Roger were to pay for the first bill, the sum of his remaining money would be 4:9. Okay, so Roger is to Mary, 4 is to 9. Okay, so this is the first scenario. The second scenario is if Mary were to pay first, and then the sum of her remaining money would be 11 is to 15. So let me erase this thing. So Mary is to Roger will be 11 is to 15. Okay, so if Peter would pay for the bill first, he would have used up all his money. So the amount of money that Peter has is the same as the bill. Okay, so that's all they give us. So what are we going to do with this? Okay, the key is in these two sentences. So let's dissect this together. This is Roger and Mary's money minus away the dinner bill. Okay, minus away dinner. Okay, so let's look at this sentence also. If Mary were to pay for the bill first, the sum of her remaining money would be 11 over 15 of Roger's money. So this is also Roger plus Mary's money minus away dinner. Okay, so the difference between these two sentences are that one is Roger paying first and one is Mary paying first. The remaining amount of money will be the same. Okay, do you understand? So even if Roger were to pay it first, the amount of money Mary has plus the amount of money Roger has left is the same as this. If Mary pays first, it will just be the remaining amount of money Mary has plus the amount of money Roger has originally. Okay, so it's both Roger plus Mary minus dinner, Roger plus Mary minus dinner. Okay, it doesn't matter who paid for the dinner, the remaining will be the same. So knowing this, we can now deal with our ratio. Okay, if you don't understand this, backwards and listen to what I have to say again. Okay, because it's very important. So the total here is 13 units and the total here is 26 units. Okay, 13, 26. Let's make them the same. So I multiply by 2. So I'm going to get 8 is to 18. Okay, this is how I'm going to get 26 units. Alright, so given that Mary has $126 more than Roger, so now we can compare because both are the same, 26 units and 26 units. So I'm going to circle the original amount of money, okay? So the original amount of money that Mary has is 18 units, while the original amount of money that Roger has is 15 units. Okay, the difference in terms of units is 3 because Mary has more than Roger. So 3 units equals to $126. Okay, let's find out what's 1 unit. 126 divided by 3. $42. Okay, so how much was each person's share of the bill? How much is the bill? So Mary had 18 units and Mary had 11 units after she paid for the bill. So that means the bill is 7 units. Okay, and we have to find out what's 7 units. 42 times 7. Okay, and we're gonna get $294. So how much was each person's share? They shared equally, correct? So we just divide by 3. We're gonna get $98. Okay, the key thing is this part. Without this part, you cannot get your 4 marks. Okay, so watch it again if you need to. So this is part A, and let's do part B together. Express Peter's sum of money as a fraction of their total sum of money. So the dinner cost $294, correct? So this is also Peter's money. Okay, the total sum of their money, 18 units is 18 times 42, which is 756. Okay, so this is Mary's money. Roger has 15 units, so it's 15 times 42, which is $630. So the total, Peter plus Mary plus Roger is 630 plus 756 plus 294 equals to 1680. So Peter has 294, correct? Using a calculator, just type this into a calculator, they'll give you the simplest form. So the answer is 7/40. Okay, This question is definitely tough, but once you get this part, seriously, it's easy to get the 5 marks. Okay, so congrats on finishing the paper, and good job with it also. I'll see you in the next paper.